How to pass SL2 Corporate Finance and Risk Management. Today, we are on a special discussion with the first ever SL2 CFRM prize winner produced by a lecturer. He is none other than Chandrasegeran Shabilnath, who is now a chartered accountant. Hello to you, Shabil.
Hello.
And we are also joined by with his CFRM lecturer, senior lecturer Hashan Waduge. Hello to you, Hashan.
Hello.
And to start off this conversation about CFRM, now there is a very big deal about this subject being challenging and difficult at one point. I would like to ask Shabil, as much as they say it's challenging, you have also scored 73 marks and been a prize winner out of it. Tell us how challenging this subject is and how did you do it?
Definitely, it is one of a complex examination in CA curriculum. And remembering one of my teachers' advice way back in advanced level, no any examination is easy and we have to fully prepare before we approaching to the examination. In that context, when we speak about CFRM exam, rather than I would say a complex exam, it is one of a unique exam that we have. But I want to emphasize on couple of facts here. The first fact is that the understanding of the financial management concepts to the students is very much crucial. So, because the student has to very thorough and be confident in applying those financial management concepts when and where required by the examiners. And the second thing is that the practice of the question in a way the students can apply in an examination setup. So, one example what I would say is in last examination, where a simple concept of WACC and cost of equity has been tested. First of all, student has to be aware where they have to apply WACC and cost of equity. That is coming from their background and understanding. The second way, how do they going to apply that concept? That is coming from practice. And another fact that I would like to emphasize is that the analysis of pre-seen, because in the strategic level, the questions, 50% of the question are depend upon the pre-seen, and it is very important to analyze before going to the examination. So, if you follow the instructions given by Hashan sir and follow his step-by-step guidance, I would say definitely everyone can get through this subject.
All right, now Hashan, I would like to ask you the next question. Just like Shabil said, if students follow your guidance and support, they can pass the exam, is what he said. Now, tell us what is the recommended way to get through this?
Yes, Ashi, now this SL2 CFRM paper, I would say there is no shortcut to get through, as Shabil explained. So there should be approach. So what we are doing, basically, first of all, we are teaching the concepts of financial management, because as he explained, to apply for each question, you need to have the logical understanding on each concept. So what we are doing is, normally I teach in the first 2 months the logic and the concept of the financial management. So the step 1 is having a clear understanding on the concept is very important. And the second thing, now this CFRM paper is unique, as Shabil said. I mean, I would say there is no comparative papers in any other examination. So doing questions is really important, because now if you want to swim, you need to go into the swimming pool. You cannot just practice and just go to the competition. So doing questions is really important. So what I am doing is, when I'm doing questions, I'm dividing questions into 2 parts. First one is I'm discussing further questions, which means from most important lessons, however, that is also linked with other lessons. So I'm selecting some of the questions, let's say from like ICW exams and the CA exams. So some of the selected questions, and I will be doing that for like 2 weeks and 3 weeks. Then I'm directly going to the CA past papers, because if you want to get to this exam, you have to do the questions which is similar to this examination. So what I'm doing is I'm discussing past papers which is having around 1500 marks. That will give the marks of 1500 marks, and that is from the 2016 onwards papers I'm discussing. And through that, So students will be able to understand, okay, this is how they are testing. This is how we have to approach to questions. And the third one is the pre-scene, as he explained. So there are 50% marks coming from pre-scene, and I will allocate my last month only for the pre-scene analysis. I will be analyzing that and I will be doing mock papers. So if any student wants to get through, I would say if they are following a systematic approach like this, cover the theory, understand the concepts, do questions, you need to have the practice, and finally if you analyze the pre-scene and go to the exam, definitely getting to SL2 is not a big deal.
Now, that sounds like a successful upward theory, and that has been practiced. And of course, we have results shown today. Also, Shabil, I would like to ask you, it is said that without covering the whole syllabus, it's hard to attempt the CFRM questions. Do you agree?
Yes, of course, I agree. The reason behind I said this paper is unique is the examiner can test majority of the syllabus in one question. That is the beauty of this subject. So if students are trying to do a selective studying, the students in somewhere at answering the question, they may be stuck and they could not go ahead from that question. So selective studying is not recommended for this CFRM examination paper. And the second thing is, again, when it comes to pre-scene based question, again, the question type is going to be a integrated case study type of questions. So in there also, students definitely could not go with the selective studying to approach the question. So it is always recommended to 100% go through the syllabus and practice questions and approach to the examination.
Right. And also, Hashan, when attempting questions, what kind of questions should the students attempt?
Yeah, so actually, I would like to approach this through an example. Now, if a student wants to attempt a question like a business valuation, I think the most of the students who are watching this video, they know what is meant by business valuation. To do the business valuation, you need the knowledge of investment appraisals. And to do the investment appraisals, you need to have the knowledge on the cost of capital. So to calculate the WACC, weighted average cost of capital, you need to have the knowledge of cost of equity, cost of debt. And if it is a business valuation other than Sri Lankan one, overseas one, you need to have the knowledge of international investment appraisal. So now only I told about many lessons. So as per his comment, to do one question, you need to have the knowledge on the overall lessons. So what is my advice? After doing a one lesson, if you do like very easy, simple questions, you will not get ready for the exam environment. So if you compare, now there are some similar professional qualifications, but my advice is to use as much as the CA past papers. Why? Because CA past papers anyway designed in a way that all these lessons are linked. But there are some, few lessons. Now let's say if I'm getting a IGW past paper, you cannot get all these questions which is similar to CA, but what I'm doing is I'm selecting some of the questions which is suitable for students, and I will give them, okay, you do this one, you do this one. So my basic advice, if they want to get through, if they want to do questions, please select CA past papers, because there is no better question than that. So if they do that, definitely I think they will practice to the examination environment, and hopefully they can get through the exam.
Right, interesting. And Shabil, as Hashan also mentioned, that there had been a pre-scene related to the SL2 CFRM. How important is it to analyze this?
Definitely, it is very much crucial to analyze the pre-scene before students going to examination. The fact that students cannot go to the examination and do their analysis at the examination because they do not have time to do their analysis, and also unseen is going to be provided in the examination, so they have to focus on that too. So definitely a lot of commitment and analysis had to put by the student, but most of the part is done by Hashan sir. So he analyzed the pre-scene, and the beauty of this analysis is that in this question, in the unseen, examiner can make a statement, and the approach to the question may completely changes. So the prediction has to be made in, like, we have to make some wild guesses also, and that's the thing that Hashan sir do. Various aspects of the questions and factors and analysis is made by Hashan sir. It provides actually two benefits. One benefit is that the way to approach in the examination, how the students is going to be apply the theories, they can understand, and it is a very good revision to the students, even if it is not related to the pre-scene. For other question also, the subjects and analysis covered is going to be helpful for the student, and definitely it was very helpful for me to go through this examination. So what I would say is, do the analysis, follow the guidance and mock papers, do your mock papers and go through the classes and see the way you have to approach the questions, and do not merely focus on the question and answer, rather than develop how you are the ability, how you are going to apply in a practical case. So in that case, understand the examiner's expectations, think about what you have done in the in your revision and apply. So that is simply just get one and another one and merge together. So that way students can go through the pre-scene analysis and exam question as well.
All right, talking more about the pre-scene, Hashan, I would like to ask you, as a lecturer, what do you really do to support and prepare students for a pre-scene?
Yeah, now there are maybe some students who are not in the strategic level as well. So a pre-scene means small case study, small scenario of a particular company or a group. So it will be around like 15 to 20 pages. And what CA Sri Lanka does is they issue this pre-scene before 1 month to the examination. So we have only 30 days to analyze it. So what I'm doing is, now I know every student cannot analyze the 15 to 20 pages from the financial management aspect. So what I'm doing is, first of all, I will give them a summarized way, a summary of this scenario. Okay, what is this company, what are their capital structure and all. So first of all, I'm doing that. And the second one, I will go through the pre-scene from the financial management aspect, because this pre-scene is not only related to this subject. The pre-scene is related to strategic level, all 4 subjects. So other lecturers are analyzing other subjects. What I'm doing is, I'm going to the pre-scene with financial management focus. Okay, I pick whatever the financial management areas, the issues and all. So let's say sometimes there are 15 areas, 20 areas, it depends based on the case study. Then I will pick one and one. So let's say if it is a business valuation, maybe cost of capital. So I will analyze that particular area with the students. Then, now doing that also will not pass the exam, because at the examination these 50 marks will be tested not only from pre-scene. There are some questions will be tested from pre-scene only. So obviously if it is there, it's good for students, so they can score easily. But there are some questions which is related to pre-scene and unseen. Part of the question is from unseen. So unseen is given at the examination, and part of the question from the pre-scene. So you should have the knowledge on the pre-scene, okay, where you have to get this information from the case study. So what I will do to mitigate this one, I will give some mock papers. So as Shabil said, I'm using my experience as well. So I will give some predicted areas, and I will create a hypothetical unseen. Okay, so examiner can give this kind of an unseen. So normally I'm doing around 2 mock papers. Okay, so if this is coming, this is how you have to answer. And I will make sure these questions will be at the CA standard level. That is somewhat difficult, because you have to make an effort, but I will make sure that is really difficult. So students are also telling, so your papers are really difficult, but my objective is to get to the exam. So these are the things we are doing at the end of this program. So the last month, so maybe in the last month we are getting some live sessions also, and through that we will be doing that, and hopefully students will be 100% ready from the pre-scene aspect as well.
All right, that's amazing. And on a final note, I would like to ask Shabil now, as much as they say it's challenging, you're someone who has taken the challenge and gone above and beyond and been a prize winner. So, what is your message to the students and the fellow colleagues who are watching us?
To my fellow students, my first advice is to go through this session and get motivated for yourself. And the second thing, this is applied to all examinations. Enjoy the process, because when you enjoy the process, an inner motivation coming from yourself, and that is the driver that help you to aspire your dreams. That is my second advice. And third advice, in an examination setup, understand the examiner's expectations. Be thoroughful on the action verbs also, because that may change the way you have to answer, you have to approach the question. And finally, I would like to advise the students, go through the videos properly and follow the Hashan sir's instructions, and definitely you can get through the CFRM subject. And finally, I wish you all a place where you can achieve your dreams and become a chartered accountant in future.
Thank you very much for your message. And Hashan, as a lecturer, what have you got to say on a final note to everyone who's watching?
Yeah, I can start with what Shabil started at the this conversation. So he told any exam is not easy. So I would say yes, CA exams are not easy, and even A level exams are not easy. But I would say CA exams are not difficult as well. It doesn't matter whether you had this island rank in A levels. Also, it doesn't matter, maybe you had 3A passes, this was your result. Doesn't matter. Maybe there are some students who are from other streams, non-commerce stream. So what it matters really here, how much of commitment you are putting to study, and whether you are following a systematic approach, whether you follow these steps. And the final one, whether you have an attitude to not to give up this until you achieve your dream. So if they are committed on what they are doing, I would say any student can get through and finally achieve their dream of becoming a chartered accountant. So I wish all the students to get through this exam. If you are doing the strategic level, you are done with 75% of chartered dream. I mean the CA exams. Maybe if you have done some other subjects, they are done with like 80%, 85%, maybe 90%. So it's just a little 20, 25% or 10% you have to cover and get through. So if you do that, please make sure now you cannot turn. What you need to do is you have to go and you have to follow what you have done up to now. So if they are doing that, definitely they can do that. So I wish all the best to all my students.
Thank you very much, Hashan. I think, just like both of them said, it all comes down and narrows down to having the can-do attitude about no matter how much other people are saying it's challenging and it's difficult, but have you got the right mindset to go through the exact process? Now, if you've got the right mindset to go through the process, what you've got to do is to pass. How we started, how to pass the SL2 Corporate Finance and Risk Management. All you've got to do is come to onlineaccounting.lk and meet your CFRM lecturer Hashan Waduge and take it forward from there. And thank you very much, Shabil, and thank you very much, Hashan, for joining with us. And thank you for watching this. We shall see you soon with another episode.